Got the mirrors off. One of them is loose. I might heat that up and tighten that up. It always drops on me as soon as I hit the highway. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is remove the reflectors from the forks and the fenders, just to get rid of all the orange and red. That way the only color on the bike is really the tail light and the tank and fenders. We'll see how that looks. Nope, I crashed it. So the saying goes, there's two types of riders, those who have laid their bikes down and those who haven't laid their bikes down yet. Now, this is by far not my first motorcycle crash, but my first one on this bike. So I just chalk it up to that, get those GBs out of the way. Luckily, it was a crash that I didn't end up in the hospital and everything's okay. Just a few scuffed parts and we'll be good to go. This is gonna be a build series on rebuilding the bike back to normal, or whatever normal was beforehand. So let me go over a couple of things that we're gonna be fixing in this series and the parts that I've already gathered to replace those. So here we go. Well, starting out, I'll go over all the damage to the bike and then we'll go over everything we have as far as replacement parts go and what we're going to be doing on this build series. So starting out in the front fender got a little paint chip on it here. It's just a little wonky there. But as far as the front wheel goes, that's all the damage. Moving up to the handlebars, we got a little bit of scrapage here, but no damage to the new handlebars or the cables or the levers or mirrors. Now, these rubber riser bushings were a little worn out to begin with. They were needing to be replaced, if you could see those. Now they're really needing to be replaced, and honestly, when you put this big of bars on a bike, you really need to upgrade from the rubber bushing. Those have gotten a little worn out. We also, if you can tell, the front forks are a little out of alignment, a little wonky. So we're gonna have to fix the alignment on the forks there. And coming down the forks, one of our casualties is our newly relocated turn signals. The bracket snapped clean in half. Whoop. And with that, the relocated turn signal went straight into the gas tank here and left this nice Chipper Jones baseball sized dent in the tank, along with a couple of scratches. That's another casualty. Moving down forward, we can also see that we chipped some fins. I slid on some rocks and gravel into a drainage ditch, so there were uneven terrain and bigger rocks that unfortunately took out some of the fins here. We have that, along with the shifter linkage assembly. Bent that shift linkage up pretty well. I was able to stomp it back into place to be able to ride it home. This shift lever is straight. These shift levers got a little bent up, but hopefully I'll be able to bend those back straight, and those should be good as new. Well, not good as new, but you know what I'm saying. Moving down, obviously the derby cover is prone to casualty when those go down, so got nice scuff marks there. Also, my foot peg's a little loose on this end, so I'll need to tighten that up, get that back in place. If we move to the rear peg, this also got twisted, so it's not supposed to bend like that, it's supposed to bend up. So we'll have to get that twisted back into place. Moving on to the rear fender, that rear turn signal got pretty scratched up. I was able to recover the clear lenses. Those are a little scratched up, but all the same. And then the rear fender's got this nice scrape scuff mark on it here as well. So all in all, we got a fair amount of parts to replace on this bike and things to fix, but it should be fun. Should be back on the road in no time. I went ahead and picked up a bunch of replacement parts, so let's take a look at those now. So one thing I'm actually really excited about is the gas tank and fender situation. I looked for replacement tanks, any kind of used tanks I could find, but most were pretty beaten up, but I was able to find one person that had a full set of tins to replace, and this is honestly something I'm super excited about, because when I originally got the bike, I thought about trading someone straight up for these tins. Pretty happy that I was able to find this deal, and it just happened to be the only set of full tins that were available after this has happened. Let's take a look and I'll show you what I'm excited about. So I love the red. I've never been a really big red guy, but I've grown to love this red color, and it's looked really good. I thought about getting a bunch of the Golden Eagle stuff to complement the gold stripe in it. That would look really nice. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'd be changing all that anyway. We're going to be going from this red and gold pinstripe to the black and silver paint. again, this is something I'm actually super excited about. I was planning on trying to find someone with a black set that I could trade straight up for my red set, and I just got lucky in more ways than one with this being the only full set of tins available for sale when I was looking for them. Super pumped. We're going to be going from red to black. Knights of the Old Republic to Darth Vader. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like actually on the bike with it all put back together. I'm super excited. Black is really more of my color. I was super lucky, like I said, for this to work out, for this to be the only set of tins available for me. Yeah, I could have rode around with them dented and scratched up. I also don't care about that, but there was just something about the timing of all this that I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to make this switch now. Let me show you the other parts we got. We got a new shifter linkage to replace the bent one. Went ahead and grabbed some polyurethane riser bushings. I was gonna go with solid, but they didn't have any in stock and I got impatient, so I just went ahead and grabbed these. Went ahead and got gas tank gasket, hose clips for the fuel crossover line, and the screws needed to replace the fuel pump of the gas tank. Also went ahead and got gaskets for the gas cap and the fuel gauge that I needed to replace. Now, along with the wonderful tins, the guy also was kind enough to throw in a couple extra takeoff parts I needed. So he threw in these two derby covers. This is a custom etched one, a little Grim Reaper on it, and then this is a Willie G cover. It's got a little bit of rash here, but no harm, no foul. I got a lot of Willie G stuff on my bike, so I think I might ride with this one first and save that one. Not sure yet. We'll see what happens. Along with that, he also gave me a new rear turn signal, so that'll replace the scratched up one that we have. A couple of my buddies had a couple of turn signals left over that they gave me, and I used the best parts of the ones they gave me to rebuild one full one. I might replace it with this one. I might just rebuild the one that's on the bike, because the one that's on the bike, both lights are wired into the same plug, and I would have to cut the wires and splice this in, but I could just replace the housing on the one that's on the bike, so I don't have to cut the wires. We'll see when we get there, but got both new turn signals covered. Got a new turn signal relocation mount for the front turn signal, and then went ahead and got a derby cover gasket if I want to use the aftermarket derby cover. So this is going to be the new build series. We're going to be replacing all these parts on the bike to get the bike back on the road, so stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys. Probably help if I had decent shoes on that could stop.